We are trying a little something new because I know that many people will be staying home, and we wanted to try and record the sermon and allow them to be able to watch later on today. Now, I've got to admit, I have never been so happy to see Roger Owen's face. Man, just kidding. It is very good to be back. I heard more than one person say, "Why'd they block my pew off?" Maybe I'm just getting back at you for something in the past. I'll let you think about it. I don't know. Probably not. I have told Benny that I would make him move forward someday. He moved forward 3 feet. No. There were a lot of benefits that came with, churches making the best of a bad situation. And it was fun to see how different churches do it. So, how we did it, we chose to pre-record everything. We put songs on there. And so some of you who really like some of the songs, you could rewind and just worship to your heart's content your favorite song over and over again. You could pause and go to the bathroom and not miss anything. I have to apologize though, but now that we're meeting live, there is no fast forward button. Nor mute, Benny. But I hope that we are able to have a little fun with this, to acknowledge the fun of a unique and odd situation. One of the things that we try to do is put some just for fun activities up on Facebook, and so once a week we put some of those. So I took some pictures. If you haven't been able to see them, these are some of the things that people have been up to recently. So this was of the Burfords taking a picnic out on their farm. I'll let you decide if that is David or Luann. Here we have the Nichols having, I think this was Matt's birthday lunch, right? So we had that. Next one, we had a puzzle going on. Next one, we had lots of people playing games. And if you can see, I don't know, Jim's look on Jim's face. Apparently you do not want to mess with Jim playing Monopoly. Because I think that's the look of, I just won and you lost. Give me your last piece of property. But it was fun to see how different churches interacted and tried to keep people's spirits lifted at just these really unique times. And so we had some people who were sending texts out. We had cookies mysteriously delivered, kind of ding-dong ditch. Oh, a cookie, okay. But it was good to see people being active. I know there were a few things that I just want to let everybody know. If you watch the videos, then you do know, but Eva Hoker was baptized this last month. There was a young couple who was married, and I have to apologize. There is no screen right now because I forgot to lower it. So in the booth, if you know where that little dial is or a switch, you can lower it down here. But Chad and Jess, who were baptized right before we quit meeting, part of their decision of following God was to be married. And so they are working this morning, not able to be here, but when they are, please get to know him. Then you have to stop it on your own, otherwise it goes forever. Also, Les Swart passed away. I know many people were praying for them. But life continued, and so we said hello to many joyous occasions. We said goodbye to a loved one. I want to talk about a passage of Scripture today that I think we sometimes kind of glaze over the significance of it, or probably the depth of it. And there are a few different passages that are like this. And so a couple of them, one is don't worry. Another one is love your enemies. And we can get so used to seeing those that we kind of just glaze over the significance of those. I mean, it's easy to say, don't worry, God will take care of it. Does any of you know a single person that never worries? Me neither. I know some people that are better at not worrying, but I cannot think of a single person who never worries. And yet, that scripture says, don't worry. Or how about love your enemies? I mean, love your enemies is not one that we go around talking about our enemies. Well, I had another run-in with my enemy today. Let me tell you about it. We just don't kind of use that language anymore. But there are probably people that if they just happen to get a promotion and move out of state, we'd be okay with it. But they're not our enemies. Okay, we're wanting good things for them. Give them a promotion that takes them away. But we kind of glaze over those. And we put these kind of quantifiers in there sometimes too. And so where Jesus says, forgive one another. He's teaching his disciples, and Peter, good old Peter, says, okay, well, Jesus, how many times do I need to forgive my brother? I mean, 7 times? If my brother takes my chocolate milk 7 times, that's a lot of forgiveness. And Jesus says, no, how about 77 times? Essentially saying, never stop forgiving. Always forgive. And so those are little teachings, but they have huge impact, and they take a life. I don't think we'd ever master them. And so I have one that I picked out today that I want us to look at, and it's important because I think of that it applies for these times that we are in right now. And it comes from Philippians chapter 4, verse 4, and it says, rejoice in the Lord always. Rejoice in the Lord always. And so we get to talk about rejoicing quite often as one of the fruits of the Spirit. Or I know I've preached a sermon comparing and contrasting joyfulness versus happiness. Happiness is kind of temporary, but joyfulness is a permanent type thing. We can talk about rejoicing in suffering. But that word always is heavy. It should be in all capitals. Always. There are a lot of times that I don't feel like rejoicing. And yet, is that what I'm called to do? Am I supposed to rejoice even when I've been stuck not being able to see your wonderful faces? Even though when I've been having to preach to a camera? You know how hard that is? There's no interaction. The camera just stares at me. I'm like, that was a joke. Let's stop the tape. Let's rewind. Let's go. I'm missing you guys. There were some things that it's hard to rejoice about in this. And yet as Christians, we are called to be people who rejoice. And so I happened to notice, as I was thinking about getting back together, that Google, of course, keeps a track of a huge number of statistics. And they have a website that you can go and keep track of these statistics and see what all people have been searching. And so I took a snapshot of a few of the keywords that people have searched. So let's go to the first one. The first one, obviously, COVID. COVID-19, none of us have ever said it before in our life until about 6 weeks ago. And so down here, it's at 0. The highest you can get on this scale is 100, which is, you probably can't see the line, it's really gray right there. But the top, it peaks out. It went from nothing to 100 real quick because people want to know about it. They searched for it. If you want to spend some time and just see the impact of what this had on people's searching what they were looking for on the internet, feel free. Look it up. All right, here's a few of them. Next one. NBA. It went from pretty steady to nothing. Why? They shut down. Next one.